Welcome back. The North Carolina Bulldogs have a perfect record on the season so far, and last week they won their first ever playoff game in school history in front of a home crowd. And last night, under the lights at home, the boys in blue looked to keep their perfect season and state championship hopes alive. The Bulldogs stormed their way onto the field last night, maybe a little foreshadowing about how the game would go. First and third, and the Golden Elks' own Jaquan Benson throws it up to nobody really. Kyson Robinson tips it, and Connor McCormick comes up with the catch. I think I've seen him do that before just a couple weeks ago. Now Kenny Jackson is going to take over on offense. He takes the handoff to the left, and with a 3-yard touchdown on fourth down, he would get his team on the board. No surprise there, but this kid Jackson was not done. On the next drive, he got things going. Cameron Bird hands it off to Jackson again. He'll do the rest for a 65-yard gain, and somehow the Elks defense managed to keep up and take him down, but I think that's just because Kenny wanted to share the love with his teammates. Just 2 plays later, Bird on the play-action pass. He connects with who else but Anton Black for the score, and the Dogs are rolling. Elkston punting again. Rodney Thomas would be back to return, and he is going to get hit hard here by Aziz White. He puts a huge hit on Thomas, but he made sure to show the Golden Elks that they were not going to get the last say. Later in the drive, he pushes the rock in a yard into the end zone, and that would be enough for the win, 36-15. And North Carolina is headed to the state semifinals. Gotta love it, North Carolina. Now Cambridge, they had a little playoff action last night as well on the road against Harvey de Grace. Now the Vikings showing out on defense. Dre Green comes up with a big pass breakup, but the Warriors look for round 2 this time. Mike Flosser finds Isaiah Brown, and just like that, the duo helps put their team on the board with a 10-yard touchdown, 7-0. Now Cambridge responds. Trey Lake gets the handoff, and of course he takes in the 7-yard touchdown. Again, no surprise. This coaching staff loves to take risks. They're going to go for 2, and it is good. Now, the Vikings would take an 8-7 lead, and about taking risks, third quarter, Tyler Harding on the onside kick. Again, this coaching staff loves taking risks, and this is why. Cambridge recovered the ball there, and they got rewarded. Nate Lowe finds Jake Morris, and this team gets that play every single time, 31 yards to the house. Now, the Warriors had a couple of touchdowns up their sleeves, but Cambridge would not stop. Low to Dre Green from 8 yards out. He gets in for the score, giving the Vikings a 3-point lead, but the Warriors, they got the last save. Flosser finds Jackson again, and that would be the game winner in the last minutes of the game. Cambridge falls on the road 26-22, but a great season to the Vikings, so definitely keep your heads up. Now in Delaware, the team that stole the Henlopen headlines all season long has been Smyrna, and they were at home looking for a playoff win over Mount Pleasant. And the Eagles, well, they would do their pregame ritual. Now let's get things started. I have to say, I love watching this kid play. Sophomore Will Knight gets the job done week after week. He broke through some traffic, and he's going to find the open field. He takes it 75 yards to the house. Next possession for the Eagles. They would strike again. This time, Nolan Henderson finds Dante Ritchie, who comes out of nowhere to make a play, and Smyrna extends their lead. Now, the Green Knights, they respond to Sean Johnson, goes deep to Robert Myrick. Myrick had a couple of great catches in the game last night. He would take it in for the score, but Henderson wanted more out there. He finds Ritchie again. The duo had a great night. Clearly, you're able to witness it at home with me right now. Now, Mount Pleasant, well, they were hanging tough. Danon Williams fights his way into the end zone to keep his team in it, but the Eagles would not let down. Henderson finds Charlie Taylor. The Green Knights could not make the tackle, and Taylor gets in for the touchdown. And of course, it wouldn't be right to close things out with another Henderson-Ritchie combo here. Henderson threw 5 touchdowns last night in Smyrna's 56-32 win. And Nolan, I got to say, you're a first-teamer in my book. Now today, Lake Forest was up against Wilmington Friends. Now the Quakers got things moving early. Justin Bennick with the QB keeper. He did this all game long. Will Friends would take a 7-0 lead. Later in the first, recognize the play. Same thing again. Bennick with the keeper to make it 14-zip after just 1 quarter. And their defense was making plays too. Lake Forest, Noah Fake Johnson lets it fly, but check out Cameron Kendall. He comes in for the interception in the backfield. But Lake's defense, well, they were just doing fine out there as well. 4th and 7, the Quakers go for it, but Cameron Lewis puts the pressure on Bennick, and that would shift the momentum just a bit. On their next possession, the Spartans finally got a taste of the end zone. Amir White is going to bust through some traffic for the score. It would be 14-7 at half. And then the third quarter, the Quakers, they struck first. And guess what? It's going to be the exact same play. Bennick, he scores his 3rd touchdown of the game. Heading over to the 4th quarter, Lake responds with a touchdown of their own. Trayvon Milton breaks loose. He finds his way home. But you guys, Friends ran away with the win in the 4th quarter, 34-14. And Sussex Tech looked to keep their playoff hopes alive against a very good squad, Middletown. Now, the Cavaliers dominated from the start. Francis Detillo goes up the gut for the first touchdown of the game just 2 minutes in, and they would be back. Kedrick Whitehead breaks through a couple of tackles. He runs it down the left sideline into the end zone. It was his birthday, by the way. 14 zip for the Cavs. Second quarter, Sussex Tech looking for anything up there. Tamon Williams moves the chains and has the end zone on his mind, but he gets stopped just short, and Middletown would come up big here. 4th down and 3 to go. Josh Freeman makes a play on Patrick Griffin in the backfield for a turnover on downs. Now, just a few plays later, Vince Del Percio, he takes in the QB keeper to make it 21 zip, but the Ravens continue to fight out there. Shout out to Brennan Stark, who recovers the fumble, and despite the score, he was feeling pretty good about the play. You got to love it, and him showing some spirit. But Middletown, they were just too much to handle out there. Del Precio to Xavier Green, and take a look at that catch. He would score just 2 plays later as the Ravens' season did come to an end last night against Middletown, 42-7. Now it is time to take another commercial break, but when we return, we'll be talking more football. That's right, football is not out of the question yet, but we'll find out which players will be taking home awards in the college football tournament, NJAC. Keep it right here.
Jose Ortiz, offensive line, defensive line, Milford High School. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.